they don't need you. All right, guys, about that time. Woo-hoo! Welcome in, California. Bam! Is there anybody in the room who hasn't had a California wine before? You liar. So, we're gonna taste and sample a whole bunch of different California wines. Sonomas, Napas, the different styles. So, we're gonna talk about the history of California wine. We're gonna go through some key regions in California, and we're going to taste some stuff. I know that's your favorite part. Hooray! So, as always, stare deeply into it, swirl it around, kick up those flavors, sniff it, don't snort it, and take a nice sip of it. Don't just knock it back. Taste it, enjoy the flavors, see what you can pick up. So, we're going to start passing around this one. I'm waiting for you. Perfect. You look like you were flinching, made me flinch. So, the California wine regions. There are currently 138 AVAs in California. That's quite a few. So if California were a country, it would be the 4th largest wine producer in the world behind France, Italy, and Spain. They make a whole lot of wine in California. So the state is home to more than 600,000 acres of vineyards, and there are some 4,600 bonded wineries in California. A lot of space, used for grapes, for wines, for a good time. So, California offers incredible diversity in wine styles. The state produces about 85% of the wine made in the entire United States. We rely a lot on California and their wine industry. So leading varieties are Chardonnay and Cabernet Sauvignon. Chardonnay uses approximately 98,000 acres, and Cabernet uses roughly 88,000 acres. So this particular class tonight, here, Thursday, is going to be a very different class from what Saturday is going to be. In large part because I'm teaching it. You're welcome. But also because I spent a fair amount of time in California last month. I got to meet all of the people that we will be sampling with tonight. I took this picture myself. That there is the mother vines of Cabernet that survived the phylloxera epidemic. And we'll talk a little bit about that when we get into the history. But those are the vines that they used clippings of to revitalize the entire Cabernet industry in California and in large part in France. So,
Where is that?
That is in Sonoma.
Okay.
These are some of the fun people I met. Look at all those cool folks. Smiling, happy, joyful. Oh, I missed a couple. Good for me. Oh, this guy, Concannon. That is where the mother vine was. That was the first day, right there. He complained about them being too separated. It was a completely different style of the industry at the time. They now trellis everything much closer so they can have more of them so they can produce more. So, here's a whole bunch of the people I met at all these fantastic places. And tonight, we're going to try all of their stuff. Really, in that order, too.
They should send you more often.
I agree, but I think it's the same reason that I don't get to teach all the classes, is they need me here and they need me right there, seeing all you folk out of this room. But I agree, they should send me more often. There's a European trip next year, and I told them, I've already got my passport, guys. Like, let's go for it. I don't even have to unpack, let's go. So the one that is coming around is this one right here. The Iter Sparkling Brew by this guy, Stefano Magotto. So, this is a Chardonnay Sauvignon Blanc. Iter, so we've had a lot of back and forth, and I haven't found a source that I appreciate their linguistics on, because we say Iter, they were saying Iter, I've heard Iter. It is supposed to be a Latin word which means journey, and that is kind of their whole thing. Is this spiral here that has a little ellipses at the end is where you come from. It's that infinity. And we all end up in this spiral and going through our journey before we return to infinity, every one of us. It's one of those things that we do happen to have in common. It's pretty tasty, right? So this guy here, Stefano Magoto, so they started their winery in 2006. It was 3 of them. So Dario Di Conti and Valentina Gullo came in from Italy, and their whole thing was that they started a business for mobile filtration. So they had the trucks and the tankers and the machines to go to some of the smaller wineries that didn't have their own filtration systems for all the wine and the grapes that they were working, and they would filter it for them there. While doing so, they made a lot of great contacts in the wine industry, and eventually got to the point where they wanted to do that instead of just filtering everyone else's stuff. So they work with growers from all over the state, making amazing stuff and picking out the flavors that they really kind of want with the people that they've worked with in the past. They also make our #1 selling Pinot Noir of the year, Calavera, which is very fruity and jammy and dangerously easy to drink. But because they work with so many people, they also make Big Sipper, which is actually not a bad box wine. I've got tons of it.
5-4, get 9 free.
Yes. You're welcome. So do you kind of like that one? They make a ton of different stuff, and so it is worth kind of checking out some of their things. And I do recommend checking out the Calavera particularly. So this was the facility that they were able to show us. It happened to be an off day, so they couldn't show us anything properly running. It was the one day of the week where the machines weren't going, and of course that was the day that we were there. But this is their bottling and packing facility here. They happen to have a label scanner and printer that checked every aspect of the label to make sure that it was accurate before it sent the bottle on. So if any ink went wrong or smudging happened, it would catch it and kick it off. It's kind of a cool thing. So this is what the facility actually looked like. So I think he said it was about 40,000 square feet, and they had 3 different facilities in the area. I did have a fancy vest. Yeah, we weren't allowed to go in until we put on our fancy vests.
Sean, how big is this total wine space?
I believe this one is 23,000 square feet.
About twice.
Yeah.
So double.
So yeah, that place is about double the size of this entire store. And they were working on installing a whole new machine to kick things through even faster. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff that all of your wines has to go through before it comes here and to you. Kind of a cool thing, right? You don't think about all the stuff that it has to do before you get it. And there's a lot of steps.